everyone, welcome back to WsCube. In our today's session, we will be talking about parameters and arguments. First of all, let's have a small recap on what we have learned in our previous session. So guys, in our previous session, we learned what are functions, we learned how to create a function. We know now that function has two parts, defining a function and calling a function. So I hope you guys have no doubts in the questions from our previous session. Now let's quickly get started with what we have in our today's session. So here we have parameters and arguments. Now guys, what is parameters and arguments? Let's discuss that. So guys, parameters here are nothing but they are the name of the variables that we need to use inside our functions, and they are written after the name of our function. And arguments are nothing. Arguments are the values that we pass to these parameters. That means these variables that we write in the name of a function. So let's see how these parameters and arguments are written inside a function. So guys, as we all know that first of all we have a function, and function is categorized into two categories over here. The first is its definition, second is calling a function. So the definition part has the parameters and the calling part has the arguments. Now for example, you have created a function that requires some variables inside it. Let's say I'm creating a function def and my function's name is people. Here I need some variables like their name and age. So name I'll be writing, comma, age. So these name and age over here will be termed as our parameters. Now guys, there are two types of functions, parameterized functions and non-parameterized functions. So if you ever hear this term, don't get confused with what is parameterized function and what is non-parameterized function. So parameterized functions are basically those functions which have parameters, and non-parameterized functions are those functions which do not have parameters. Coming back to our topic over here, so we write the parameters over here, we write the body, that what is there inside this function, and when we call the function over here by writing people, we provide the age over here. For example, let's say the name is John over here and the age is 23. So this prints the output with the arguments, that means the values that we have provided over here. So these are the arguments. Now let's use parameters and arguments inside our Python program. So guys, I'm creating a function over here, that definition people, and I'm creating the two parameters over here. My first parameter is name and the second parameter is age over here. I'll put a colon and I'll write print my name is, comma, name, and I am, comma, age, years old. Now what I will be doing, I will be providing it with the argument. So if I write over here, so when I call my function and along with calling the function, if I pass the values as the argument, that is, let's say the first one is John, and comma, the second argument, that means the value of the second argument will be returned over here. So I'll be writing 23. As soon as I run my program, you can see it writes my name is John and I am 23 years old. Guys, we also said that function needs to be created only once, and then you can use it in your program as many times as you want. So here arguments allows us to use a function with the different values as well. Suppose if I write people over here and provide it with the different values, let's say my first name is Lisa and her age is 24. And if I run it, it will again give me with the output, but here this time the name has been replaced with Lisa and the age here has been replaced with 24. So guys, this is how our parameters and arguments work inside the function. So let's consider another example. I'm creating another function over here. We will be applying a mathematical function to it maybe. So I'll be creating it for the area of rectangle. So I'll be writing RECT. And here I'm taking two parameters, that is the length of it and width of it. Right. After this, I'll be writing the area. So print the area of rectangle is, comma, length times width. And to call the program, all I need to do is write RECT and provide it with the values, let's say 3, 5. So 3 times 5 will be 15, and if I run it, it gives me that the area of the rectangle is 15. So guys, this is the way in which we can write parameters and arguments in our functions. Here in the first function, the name and age is the parameter and the values that we have provided to it while calling the function, that was the argument. In the second one over here, the length and width is the parameters and the value that we are providing it while calling a program. That means 3 and 5 over here are arguments. So I hope guys what is parameters and what is argument is pretty much clear to you now. In our next session, we will be discussing about the return statement and recursion in Python. So stay connected guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.